Welcome to another episode. How's everybody doing? So this is might be one of the quickest episodes ever. So I'm having a little bit of doubt. I'm doing some second guessing. Um, I don't know if I want to continue on doing the podcast for now. Um, as in why? I don't know. It's just a lot, and it's hard to want to it's hard to want to do it every whenever, and I don't know, it's just been some doubts lately, and I don't know if this is something that I want to continue doing or if I should take a little bit of a longer break. I don't know yet, but I will finish out season 6 and see what happens.
Hi everyone. So we're gonna take a break, huh?
No, I'm finishing out season 6 and see what happens from there. I don't know yet.
No.
Uh-oh, what kind of technology? I'm using my phone, everybody. So it's a little bit different than on a computer. But how's it going out there to everyone that's watching? How's it going? It's another lovely day outside. I decided to come sit outside and listen to the birds chirp and the highway behind me and people driving stupid. But I'm out here. It's another good day.
So
And
so how many episodes do we have left then? So just the viewers and listeners know how much longer we have left before we'll be on absent leave for a while.
um I mean I might only take off a month. I don't know, that's and then I'll make my decision then during that month. But I believe it's 11 or 12 episodes left. That you get
Six
to see this face every Tuesday and Thursday.
6 weeks. That's 6 weeks, everyone.
And yes, I do have a hair appointment coming up. And there goes the ghetto. So how's it going?
Good. How are you doing, Martel? I mean, I know we pretty much have nothing to talk about other than an article I was reading yesterday about a 27-year-old that crossed state lines into Ohio and raped a 10-year-old girl and got her impregnated. So, way to go, asshole! Way to go! Way to go!
What? Please, he wasn't black, was he?
You know what? I don't know all the logistics. To be honest with you, I should probably look into it again. But
I mean, they don't seem like a crime. One of brothers would
I don't,
do. I'm just
I
saying.
don't think so. I don't think so. But I
I
really
mean,
don't.
when you hear about certain crimes and you just think about it, like you dang, like I know that was a Mexican who did that, or dang, I know that was a black person who did that, or dang, I know that was a white person who did that. Depending on the crime, like if y'all know what I'm talking about, the viewers that's watching, y'all know what I mean. Like we hear you ain't gotta be watching, you ain't gotta be standing by the TV. You just have your TV playing in the background, and the news is on, and then you hear them reporting on a certain story that happened of a crime that happened, and you already know like, oh, they was black, or
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't have the logistics on. I actually should probably look in it a little bit more. I just was reading it. I did actually. I sent it to you on Messenger, so I should probably go find that one because I know I believe I sent it. Oh yeah, right here. Here we go. Here's the article right here, coming from Newsmax. Newsmax, so not Fox, ABC, CBS, all your syndicated. They're giving you all the mumbo jumbo and all the false information. So, man arrested for raping Ohio girl 10 who crossed state lines for abortion. A
Wait,
27-year-old man.
wait, hold the hell on. I just caught on. Wait, hold the hell on. Why is it a 10-year-old getting an abortion?
She got impregnated by the 27-year-old.
Wait, okay, wait,
So,
wait, wait. So she crossed state lines to go get an abortion because she got pregnant by a 27-year-old.
yes.
I thought that she was already over there across state lines and then she just happened to get raped. Okay. Hi,
So,
Ali, how's it going?
so Columbus, Ohio resident Gershon Feudis was apprehended Tuesday after police said he confessed to raping the 10-year-old girl on multiple occasions. Per Ohio statutory law, Feudis has been charged with first-degree felony rape, according to the Columbus Dispatch.
Don't he know that there's women out here that he could just go buy it from? That way he ain't got to go worry about going to jail. I mean, sometimes you ain't got to buy it. There's people out here that just giving it away willingly. So I don't understand why people are out here just raping people when you got hoes that's out here giving it out willingly. Like I don't understand. Like why are you raping people? Like all you gotta do is go to a certain part of the city, or go to a certain club, or go around a certain group of people, and you already gonna know like, hey, they giving it away for free. Boom, there you go.
You know what? I'm just reading it. I don't know. You know what? I mean, it's true. I mean, to be honest with you, excuse me, everyone. Sorry for me looking at my phone reading it, but it's. I mean,
do you know what?
Oh,
if there's anybody who. If there's anybody who eventually watches this and you being committed of rape and you regret doing it or whatever, and you're not ashamed to talk about the crime that you committed, please come on this podcast because I have a lot of questions.
No, just so sickening. I mean, a minor. Excuse me, like not even like I mean, like that tween level, 10 to 12. Like, are you kidding me? Really? I mean, grade school level kid.
Yeah, but to be honest, there are some grade school level kids who are out there having sex willingly already. I've known of someone who got pregnant at a very young age, around that age. So, yeah.
Oh, God bless them.
So, what we should talk about is dating.
All right. Well, we got 30 minutes. Let's do this.
So, I don't know. It's so hard. Like you be trying to keep the peace sometimes, but it's just so hard to compromise. Like I don't know if anybody's watching with the day that's watching this is dealing with that, but it's just so hard to compromise, and you feel like your space has been violated and all this kind of stuff. It's just really hard.
It is. I mean, it is hard because you got to think about it. Look at all the like social media apps and like I'm just gonna say like you can go back 20 years. Okay, I'm gonna again, and you didn't have all this technology. You didn't have it. You had pagers.
I mean, yeah, but it's different when you like living together. Like I to be honest, I liked it better, I should say, when I get upset and I be like, you just go home. We just go to two separate places, and then that'll be it.
Yeah.
Now it's like I gotta actually look at you, even though I'm still mad.
But here's a question though. You're engaged though. So the question is though, is that you agreed to the next step in life. So the thing is, are you gonna be able to handle it?
I might have been drunk.
Next X amount of years.
I don't know. It's hard. I don't know if it's. I don't know. I mean, now it's like you gotta. I don't know. It's so hard.
I mean that's what I'm just wondering.
I agree to it. I might have been a little tipsy when it happened, but it's just like I hate compromising. And then, like I said, I liked it better when you could just be like, "Okay, I'm gonna go home," or like, "You ready to go home yet?" or something like that. And now it's like after you don't got all pissed off and everything, and then now it's like, now you gotta lay in bed and look at the person. Like, I don't know if anybody else have those kind of. I don't know if anybody else have those kind of issues. Or sometimes
I don't.
They did something to piss you off, and then you wake up the next morning, and you turn and look like you just this motherfucker right here. I'm like, I don't know. Like, if whoever's watching, do y'all deal with them kind of issues? I really want to know. Because Crystal don't know about these kind of issues because she's still a Virgo, so.
Yeah, I'm just a Virgo.
What?
I don't. Hey, I've been single for a long time, so it doesn't matter.
Sharing a space with somebody is really hard, especially for the first time. Oh my God, there are a lot of moments where I just want to, sweet chin music, Tombstone Power Driver, a power bomb through a table, something, and it's like you said, like I just can't send a person home.
Just throw them away. Throw them away for the day and said, "Come back tomorrow." Come
Exactly.
back
Like
tomorrow.
you can't do that. Maybe I
No,
should have stuck with being a hoe.
I mean it's your call, man. I mean it's yours. It's your body, man. It's your body, your choice, buddy. You know, whatever.
And it should be illegal for men to get a vasectomy. And I'm standing on this podcast live because if they don't want to allow women to get abortions, it should be illegal for men when they decide they don't want to have kids anymore to get a vasectomy. That's all I'm saying.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it should be to me. To me, I mean, it should be. You're still a whore, Tommy.
This is why I can't deal with Tommy sometimes. Like, I Tommy should be one of those people that should be locked up in like a seer home and forced to eat tapioca pudding every day. I don't know how tapioca pudding tastes, but it tastes pretty. It sounds nasty, I should say.
I don't know. I know my parents like it. I'm gonna pass. I want to take a hard pass. Hi, Ellie. Welcome out. By the way, so I didn't say hi to you before.
You know what, Tommy?
He's just a monger of words. That's what he is.
You know what, Tommy? I'm tired of you. Just because you're old doesn't mean nothing. Don't make me come over to your place and do exactly what this shirt says. Oh wait, we go this way.
Raise hell and leave. There we go. Oh no, he's talking about the Undertaker stuff.
Nope.
No, really?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Austin 316 said I just whooped your ass.
Okay, there we go.
And for those of you who don't know, that's a Stone Cold Steve Austin reference, by the way.
I think he was actually referring to Tommy, the one of our people that are
Tommy, the man whore himself. you know what, Tommy? You on punishment.
He's waving at us. That's nice. Thanks, Tommy.
No, he's on punishment. Speaking of, on the last episode, Tina had told me to watch both of the Doctor Strange movies. I never seen the one. Well, I haven't seen the one recently that just came out, and I never saw the first one. And I saw the first one last night for the first time, and it started off really, really slow, and I was still trying to get the comprehend of what was going on. Like, I never read any of the comic books or anything like that. They roof is about to like fall apart right there. Sorry. So I never read any comic books or anything. So I just figured Doctor Strange is one of these people who was just born with superpowers. I don't know how it happened. I don't know. I didn't know how it happened, I should say. So to find out that he was an actual doctor, like a surgeon, and he was like this arrogant asshole and whatever. You know what, Tommy? I'm getting sick of your 2 cents. Okay, I'm really getting sick of your 2 cents. I said I didn't get it at first. I get it now. Damn it! It took me a while to get it. I watched the whole movie. It was actually a good movie to watch. I will definitely watch Doctor Strange Part 2. I'm just saying that because I never watched the Doctor Strange movies and then going into like watching the Marvel universe, like I seen like all the other movies, like the Avengers movies and some of the Spider-Man movies leading up to all the other stuff, because it's all just one big story. And so I never knew about how he got his powers, how all that came to be or whatever. And now I know it was actually a good movie. And I'm happy she suggested that I watch it. I will watch Part 2 before Tuesday's episode, just so so y'all can get off my ass, because I'm stay committed to my word. I'm trying to get through this stuff. But yes, it was a good movie. Now I understand how he got his powers, how everything came to be. Yeah.
So you learn.
I feel like the whole fight scene at the end with the big bad guy could have been a little bit better in Part 1, but hey, it was okay for what it was.
I mean, it's what it is. It's what it is,
Now back to prostitution. I feel like prostitution should be legal. Why do I feel prostitution should be legal?
So legal in America, all 50 states, or just
here in America, around the world, it should be legal every damn where, because especially in America, because first of all, do y'all know How much of a tax revenue we would had off of prostitution, off of prostitutes? Prostitutes had to pay taxes for what they do. I think prostitution and strippers should have to pay tax. I mean, some strippers, depending on where you live at, they pay taxes. They if they want like a tax refund or whatever, they show that they pay taxes. It's like the ones in Vegas. But I mean, the strippers pay taxes and on the money that the people throw up there, and like they keep a record of how much money they made that day, and then pay taxes on that money. Or at the end of the week, hey, pay taxes. Hell, uh, I think prostitution should be a legitimate business, just like strip clubs and stuff should be. There should be a prostitution club. Make sure everybody is tested daily or every hour or however much you need to be testing people. Make sure protection is available all 24 hours of the day. You know, I'm just maybe I shouldn't try to run for governor to make that legal.
Yeah, maybe you should. Or be lieutenant governor. I'll be governor. Whatever. Whatever. I mean,
Whichever one do less work. So I don't want to work that hard.
Okay, then you probably want to be lieutenants. Then
Okay.
I'll be governor. I'll be governor. Governor.
I can do that because I don't like working hard. I don't want to do no hard work.
You could be like lieutenant governor. What's it? Lieutenant governor is a man.
I don't know nothing about government. All I know is, speaking of government, make sure that y'all go out and vote, because these old white men that were born in the 40s and 50s that are still in government, they need to be taken out of office. They don't know how it is to live in today's world. They don't understand today's world of technology. They don't understand how the world moves at all right now. So we need to get these people out of office and vote younger, more what's the word I'm trying to think of? More younger.
We need better solutions to
we need people who have lived in our position, or have lived at our position, know our experiences, know what today's young people who are the young taxpayers and who are working right now in general, know what they've gone through, and then they can go in there and make solutions to make life easier for them. Because these people that are in office now wants to go back, especially a lot of these Republicans want to go back to a time period of 1700 where slavery was still a thing, and when women didn't have the right to vote, or where we had to deal with segregation. Like it's a lot. And to me, this whole Roe versus Wade thing is just making me wonder, what else are they going to take away from people? And you're right, Tommy, it needs to be people in our age group, because it just makes me wonder, like, what else are they going to take away from people's rights that's already been given to people? Like, and it's crazy because we're like, even for minorities, I'm not just going to say black people, but for blacks, I want to say Asians, Mexicans, Latinos, Puerto Ricans, we're still in somewhat a way still in slavery. I mean, we have freedoms to like get up and we have freedoms to do a lot more now, but the circumstances that was dealt to people that are minorities is like still being in slavery. So instead of, how can I put it? So instead of being out in the cotton fields and basically working for free, all we do is work for corporate America just to say that we have some stuff that's belong to us, but it really don't belong to us. Because at the end of the day, they can take our houses if they want to. They can take our cars if they want to. They can take the food out of our mouth if they want to. We still don't have no freedom.
That's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you got a car loan, if you're literally owned by an institution. Some institution owns everyone, unless you actually pay outright for stuff. But on the same note, you could be evicted from your house, evicted from your property, evicted from. You can get your car, literally. You can get your car taken away from you. I mean, it's true. All this stuff is all like legit. So yeah, where's your freedom? What's so great about America?
Tommy, you was a dick. I just want you to know that.
What I mean, what seriously, what's so great about America? I mean, there's nothing. We're not the land of the free by all means. We have a lot of falls. We have a lot of we have a lot to cover and to fix up.
Just seriously. Like we spend thousands and hundreds of thousands, or for some people millions of dollars on healthcare, and yet our life expectancy is worse than probably a third world country at this point.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just like I said, but yeah, like we still in slavery, and I feel like if we get people in office who are who have lived through what we've been through. Like, for like somebody that's part of Tommy's age, let's look at this. He don't live through what, 2 wars. He don't live through a reception, or what they call, not a recession, no, a recession.
Recession, yeah.
What else is it? A global pandemic. When the Milwaukee water was poisoned, the cryptos, whatever. It's a lot that people who are not even 40 yet have lived through and have to deal with. And
Yeah, it's true.
we have these older people who are 70s, late 70s, early 80s, who are in government office and still thinking it's the 1700s.
Yeah, that's true.
Something needs to be done. I want my reparations and my 40 acres and a mule. I don't think my family ever got that. So we want our 40 acres and a mule. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What are you gonna do with the mule?
Huh?
What are you gonna do with the mule?
I don't know. Hell, they can raise it as a pet. What to do? I just know we want our 40 acres and a mule.
Come here, mule. Come on over here, mule.
Oh, damn. We the same age, Tommy? I ain't know that. I didn't know that. I just figured you was old. Experienced, I should say.
Oh, boy.
And prostitution should be legal.
Okay. 40 acres, a mule, strip clubs.
And like the Indians, I think descendants of slaves are as people. So I feel like people who are descendants of slaves should be able to get a monthly payment.
Okay.
In my personal opinion, like the way how they do the Indians, I feel like, and then it's crazy because like we hear people say, go back to Africa and all this other kind of stuff. Like, dude, I ain't never been to Africa. How am I supposed to go back to a place I ain't never been to? So, and it's crazy because people look at us like African Americans, as they want to call, but I don't ever think we should even be considered African Americans because I wasn't born in Africa and then moved to America. So I don't even know why we're called African Americans. But what was I about to say?
So how far back can you go? How far back do you know, like in your family tree, that like they're still like they were originally from America, like that you know of?
So all I know is that my grandfather's grandparents were actually slaves. Okay. So his mother and I want to say his mother and what should I say? Both my on my mom's side, both his mother and father and my grandmother's mother and father on my mom's side, they were all like the first generation. This is the first generation? They're the first generation born after slavery in our family. So for me, I am only the fifth generation in my family since slavery.
So, but if you took the money for what you think you would get money wise, if they went back to, I don't know, what would that be?
Like, I mean, we were enslaved for hundreds of some years.
Yeah. So I mean, since from 1776 up until actually they had like.
I mean, but they had slaves before the American independence.
Oh yeah.
So I just feel like black people who were born in America, and I feel like they should get some type of monthly payment, just like they give the Indians for taking their land. How they get a monthly payment every month. Like there is something that should have been given to us prior to slavery ending. And then like when they promised the 40 acres and a mule, a lot of families didn't even get that.
It's true. Hi Tina, by the way, welcome in. It's to me, you'd have to look at like you'd have to delegate all the way back. So you'd have to like a chain like all the way back, and then you have to find out what. But
there wasn't really records of us like when we were born. Like when they were born back then, they didn't have birth certificates and stuff like that. There was no record of slaves being born. There's no record of us. Like there was no record of us until they. Either the ones who lived in the North that lived as free people, and then at that point, their lineage from that point was tracked. Other than that, there's no record.
So I mean, it's true. I mean, there's a lot of people.
So,
Granted,
so yeah, like we only know about our lineage from stories being passed down. That's the only way that we know.
well, and that's I said it's hard to it's hard to find out what's good to me. And granted, everyone could say that, hey, I want to get money for this that, which is true. I mean, I'm not saying not against it, Martel. It would be a good thing. But the thing is that
And you're correct on that, Tommy. You are right. I was just trying to be in it, say it in a nicer way.
but to me though, if you brought up to today's standards, everyone would get paid $1 million, but that wouldn't be per person. That'd be per family. Okay.
I wouldn't say I don't care if it was a $200 a month they gave her family. I just felt like it should be
Oh no,
something
no
for
see,
for for it.
the federal government won't give you a monthly salary. That's what they won't do. They'll give you a lump sum after taxes, and that's what they would do.
They don't tax the Indians.
No, because the Indians were here way before all of us were here, which is true.
Exactly, but we didn't come over here willingly.
No,
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. Like we wasn't our ancestors wasn't brought here willingly. Like our ancestors didn't build a ship and then say, "Hey, let's go sail the oceans and see what's over there." Like no, we was over there in the jungle, butt naked with cloths around our waist, mind our own business, and then here come these Europeans taking us from our homeland. And I feel like these Europeans that's now considered Americans should be paying African Americans money every month. Like we should get a monthly payment.
I mean, it's not saying you can, but I mean, I mean, it's a fight. It's gonna be a fight to be
Oh
honest.
yeah, it'd be a definite fight, but it's something we need our reparations.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm against it by all means, but in all means, they're gonna like the logistics of it. And they're gonna be like, well, you know what? We can't take some from 200 plus years ago.
Hell, they make laws based on something from 200 some years ago.
I mean, they did, but on the same note,
it does get sticky for us here, right?
But it's I mean it's hard to delegate that in a hands down. And right now, to be honest with you, the United States of America is actually broke, like $1 billion broke. Seriously. So
that's what they say. I don't believe in this.
I mean, and then on top of that, Americans
So how can you be broke when you make the money?
And then they try to say if you put too much money out there, it can cause the whole system to collapse or whatever. But and once again, if we like one of the most powerful countries, we control how much our money is worth.
It's no different than large corporations always saying they're in the red. Most large corporations are probably not in the red. It's no different like when I was just listening to a TikTok live earlier talking about the big oil and telling the stockholders that they're not going to drill anymore. So people just got to deal with the price of gas. Now, that's a CEO telling the stockholders, we're not doing no more. Too bad. People got to live. They got to deal with it. You can't just go and say that. To me, you can't just go and say, too bad. Civilians got to deal with this shit. No, they don't. No, they don't. Why? Like, people in America, and I shouldn't say civilians, but people in America will find other ways to do what they need to do.
Yeah, and then on top of that, if America is so broke, how come we haven't reduced the cost of government officials? I'm like, why are we paying senators and what's the other people, the representatives, whatever they call them, wherever the three houses is, I forgot. But wherever we paying them, why are they making $100,000 to $200,000 a year? Well, all they doing is just sitting in the office arguing.
That's true.
With each other. I don't feel like they should be getting paid that much money to just argue with each other. If that's the case, we can go do that for ourselves.
It's true. I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's not a lie. I mean, really, they're really supposed to be volunteering their time. They're not even supposed to make money. But I believe it was in either 1783 or 18 something or other, they made the United States of America a corporation. So what happened? Guess what? All your senators, representatives, and everybody else, guess what? Now they get a paycheck from all. So we never wanted taxes. You know, the English was going to tax us and everything, this and that. You're taxed on every little thing you do, everything. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that again. Earlier we were talking about being reprimanded and to get money. Yes, that's very possible, but you have to get enough people behind it to stand with it. To get you your 40 acres or whatever it is, and that $1 million, maybe I'm just saying per family now, not per person, per family. Okay, and it has to be a family of a minimum, probably like at least 3 or 4 people. So if by the time you split up with the taxes into it, you're probably lucky if per person. If you're lucky, if you're going to get maybe $60,000 or $80,000 out of that, and that's it. And then you'll get taxed out at the end of the year anyways by the IRS. So you'll get double taxed. So you can
yeah, but that money will give a lot of families a chance to, to make a better life. To start like even if they would have they would have gave each family of slaves back then $1 million. Let's just say that would have gave them an opportunity to start businesses and be productive more productive citizens of society. And then the thing is like now, like the rate how they have kept people down is like they don't want to. It's just like they say, generational wealth. Like it doesn't like it's so hard for minorities to create generational wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's crazy because one of the main things I've been saying is that this country will give foreigners all the help in the world. They will let them come over here and get free education. Some of them, because they're considered a foreign student or a foreign whatever, they just coming over here for school. They don't have to worry about health care. Some of their living expenses is taken care of. They don't have to pay any taxes. All this other kind of stuff. But for us that are minorities that live in the United States, none of those opportunities are given to us. If we had some of them opportunity they give to some of these foreigners to make a better life, then things would be totally different. Like they keep talking about, oh well, the minorities are holding down the society. They're full of violence. They full of this, and that. And if they had the proper tools to be educated to be on a different level, do you think the world would be the way that it is now?
But those are those people that actually want to get educated. There are people that just have that strong-minded, I want to say devil tracked mind, where that's all they want to do is go, you use their pew, and that's what they want to do, and that's all they want, But I agree with you, there's going to be.
I'm saying there's not going to be some bad apples. I mean, whether you black, white, Hispanic, whatever, there's always going to be some bad apples.
It doesn't mean it's where you are in the spectrum. By all means, no. I mean, there always could be bad people anywhere you go. That's the truth. But to me, I mean, yes, if you would have gave everyone all this money back then, granted, I don't think the federal government had the money at the time, but just saying, there probably would be a lot of our businesses. You probably have a pretty good diverse companies in America versus just mostly, and it's true, most of them are run by old men.
They're just like,
and that's true.
Just like a lot of the things they say was invented by, some of the things that didn't exist that were invented by blacks, not that were invented by black people. Do you think that some of them people had the opportunity to make the money that their invention was really worth? No, because they were black.
Yeah.
Even when it comes down to the music, even in the music in the 50s, they can record a song, but somebody of another race, or mostly it was a white person to come along and re-record the song and make millions of dollars off of this song, while this black person got nothing, and they was the original creators of the song.
And that's sad. I mean, it's true.
Until before 1970, we were not protected at all. Even when it came to music, our companies, our ideas, our inventions, we were not covered. Because somebody else could come along and could say, "Oh, it was my idea," even though they got it from somewhere. It was my idea, and turn it in and put a different name on there and made millions.
You were suppressed, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole group was suppressed, pretty much. And yeah. A group of a large amount of people around the United States. That's true. I mean, you can look up documentaries, everything. You can go on YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime videos, anywhere. You can see documentaries on all this oppression. I mean, I watched the documentary in Chicago of like literally what they called like dry areas. So there was black communities that had no grocery stores or gas stations for people to go. These people couldn't afford to drive long distances. Okay. So they pulled all the stuff out of those areas because they figured they're dangerous and reckless and not safe for anyone to go to. When in all honesty, all these people just needed to eat and just want to, have food and drinks and stuff. What is so wrong with that? I mean, there is to me now Chicago's a democratic city and it's been forever, but that's so racist. Like, dude, and then what happened is that then a black man decided, hey, I'm gonna start a business. And this is what he did. He started putting up little grocery store, little corner ones. And guess what? They popped up all over. And I don't know if the same gentleman, I don't have his name offhand, got them going, but he was a black man. I give the guy credit, if he's still by the family, or maybe they got bought out by a corporation or outside the US. But I mean, I think that's stupid. I mean, that's dumb.
Yeah. I mean, so I think I know what you're talking about. And they tried to blame it at one point on, like you said, it became a dry area, and they was trying to say it's mostly due to crime as the reason why it became a dry area.
Mm-hmm. And it's just pathetic.
So as we already bring this podcast to a close, let's head into final thoughts. And for my final thoughts, I think going forward, because I like to learn about history, so I'm going to let's talk about a little bit about history, stuff that people didn't know about and might not know about until they heard it on this podcast. So that's going to be my final thought.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, documentaries, learning about the past. I mean, you could watch a lot of stuff about the different world wars and stuff like that, and the different stuff we've had to be part of or asked to be part of. And my belief is what my final thought here is Martel's on this one is I think to me, not just only oppression should be, we should probably talk about it. We talk about it in our podcast, we should talk about oppression and what everyone had to, what everyone in your group had to go through to get where you had to go. Because, I mean, there's been a lot of people that had to fight. Martin Luther King, which is a big, big name. People really know that man. And so I think we really need to take a step back and be like, you know what? If you're a white Christian person, okay, and you have your such hard beliefs, maybe you need to rethink yourself. Maybe you really need to start looking at like, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I need to help people out. Maybe instead of me living in the suburbs with some big ass house, maybe instead of that, maybe I need to downsize and take some of that money and start helping some of these people out in some of these inner cities. That's my final thoughts.
All right, so my final thought, one of the recent things I learned about, because you're actually going to hear about part 2 on the next episode of the podcast. But, okay, so Seattle, Washington was built at sea level. Do you know what the downfall is of Seattle being built at a sea level?
So it could if you had a tsunami or a tidal wave or whatever else, it'll flood the whole city.
That too. But at the time in 1889, they didn't know that Seattle was a place where it was going to rain a lot. So a lot of their roads and stuff had got washed away. And they had, this is around the time when they was trying to learn about put plumbing into housing and stuff like that. And what they had their plumbing set up is that when it rained a lot of that plumbing will back up into people's houses, their sinks, their businesses, and things like that. Yes. So the way how Seattle was built at that time, they had needed to basically have to destroy the city and rebuild it over, and to fix the problem. But they didn't have the money to do it. So something else happened in 1889, which is called the Great Seattle Fire, which is the big fire that burned for 24 hours straight. Back then, a lot of the homes was made of wood, so everything just went up in a blaze. And once that happened, I believe Seattle was given $20 million to basically fix the whole area, which helps them fix the what they needed to do, because now they was like, oh, we didn't have the money to fix it, but the federal government just gave us the money to fix our problem. So with that being said, after the great Seattle fire, something else was born, which is called the Seattle Underground, which is a thing that still exists to today. And I'll tell y'all about that on the next episode.
All right. Well, this has been another edition of Same Cast, Different Name podcast with Martell Rowan and Crystal B. Everyone, have a great evening.